here? Okay, I've never used this before, so I wasn't sure how to switch it on. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Fay Vivien Adensamova. I'm from the Czech Republic. Let me start directly. I would like to introduce you the Czech social system so that you get an idea how it works there. So we'll start with the introduction itself with some numbers. I made also some notes during the previous session, so it will be interesting even to that. I did some Googling to find out our current numbers compared to yours, which were given here. Then I'd like to show you some specific cases with regards to people with disabilities, and then the current situation on the labor market regarding youths and elderly people. So in the Czech Republic, the average wage is actually 24,000 crowns approximately. That was in the first quarter of 2013, which is approximately 962 euro. Thank you. The minimum wage is actually 304. I'm sorry, wait a second. The minimum wage, I don't have it in there, that's what I was Googling during the previous session, is 8,500 crowns, which is 340 euros. And if I have it correctly, in Slovenia it's 580 euros, right? So it's 240 euros less, which I was actually surprised by. That concerns also the threshold of the poverty, which is in the Czech Republic approximately 376 euro, which in here is 606 euro. Then the living wage, which is the absolutely minimum to survive, some kind of a number, that is 88 euro a month, which I think most of us can't even imagine to live out of, not even me. The subsistence wage, which is like the minimum to keep on the living standard or something, is a little bit higher, approximately 136 euro. So out of the wages, that's what I would like to ask even you Slovenians, what do you pay for the social security and so on? Because I presume that the numbers you gave out are gross, so net? Brut. Your numbers were netto. Okay. Okay, so even the worst, so to say, because our numbers are usually gross, brut. So out of these numbers, for instance, the average wage, there's social security to be paid, which includes sickness insurance, pension insurance for the rents, for the old age rents, and contribution to the state employment policy. And as you may see in the table, employee is to pay 6.5% out of his wage for the pension insurance actually, and the rest is to be paid by the employer, and that is 25%. So if you are given this brut number of 24,000 crowns, which is the average wage, you have to deduct almost 33% out of that to get the net wage, which is approximately 18,600 crowns. So that is how much less? That is almost 60 euros less, I think. No, I'm not that sure. Yeah. And furthermore, health insurance is to be paid out of that, which is 13.5% of the wage. So 4.5% pays the employee and 9%, so double the amount the employer. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry for my voice. I hope it will survive this session. Now, the sickness insurance is not only about sickness, it includes 4 different types of cash benefits. So, as you may see, it's maternity, also nursing and compensatory allowance during pregnancy and motherhood in case that a pregnant woman is given different work, and then she's paid less for that. So the sickness benefit, thank you. This would be the 3rd glass of water here, but thank you. Yes, both of us are fine. But very kind of you, thank you. I might definitely use it, at least these 2. Yeah, so the sickness benefit is paid by the state only from the 22nd day of the temporary inability to work. The first, not even 21 days, but actually 17 days is paid by the employer. 17 days because the first 3 days are not paid at all. So only from the 4th day, sick person gets paid, gets the wage compensation, and then from the 22nd day, it will be paid by the state in form of 60% of the daily assessment base, which is some kind of the approximate daily wage, but also deducted by some percentage depending on the specific person and other things. Then there's this maternity benefit, which is paid in 28 weeks. In case of more kids being given birth at once, it is 37 weeks. Also paid by the state, of course, and it is approximately 70% of the daily base. Nursing benefit is meant for employees who cannot work due to treating sick household member or care for a healthy child who is younger than 10 years and cannot attend school or any child care facility due to the fact that this facility is closed due to accident, epidemics, other unforeseen events. Or if a person who otherwise take care for the child falls ill. And the compensatory allowance, as I already mentioned, is for the in case of someone being transferred to another job and being paid less for that. Then we have social benefits for which you don't pay any extra, meaning that you would pay something like an insurance that's just from the national budget, from the tax, from the taxpayers and other things, also from the, as I mentioned before, from the contribution to the state employment policy, probably. And from that, you get this child benefit, which is meant for families whose income is not higher than 2.4 times the subsistence wage. And it differs, it is determined according to the age of the child, so it can be from 500 to 700 Czech crowns per month, up to 20 years of age, depending on whether the child studies and so on. Then we have parental allowance, which is actually the parental leave, right? And newly it is up to the parent to decide how long they want to use this contribution. They can spread it up to 4 years, and the total amount cannot exceed 2,200 Czech crowns. If you want to make any conversions, Czech crown, 25 Czech crowns is approximately €1, if you want to write it down. Then we have housing allowance, which is families are entitled for this in case that 30 or in Prague, which is the capital of the Czech Republic, 30 or 35% of their income is not sufficient to cover the housing costs. So then the state will add up some amount.